Lovely to meet you, Hannah. Thanks for chatting to me.
Likewise, of course.
I feel quite nervous. I'm a very big fan, so I need to be cool.
Oh my
Um,
God, no, you're chilling.
Thank
No
you. Thank you so
worries.
much. What's your top? Is that a football top?
No,
Jersey?
it's
No.
this brand called Wales Bonner.
Uh,
It's not a team.
it looks very sporty, and I thought for a minute you were like it was a Manchester United top or something.
Oh, yes, of course. Yes. No, I'm a poser today.
Perfect. I'll jump in with some proper questions. Obviously, it's the final series. It's kind of it must be quite weird because it's such a beloved show. So it's like excited. People want to see more episodes, but we know it's our last chance. So it's sort of a strange excitement, but also a bit of grieving in there. What's it like for you to kind of talk about the show with this kind of strange tone?
Yeah, it's definitely a little melancholy. um, to discuss the show now, but I'm also getting to process my feelings around it in real time. So that's good, I think. It's as I'm having these conversations, I'm getting to reflect and really cherish the memories by reliving them.
Obviously it's very emotive. It's not and it's weird because it's such a funny show, but the show's also obviously very touching at times as well. So it's kind of I can imagine that sort of that feeling bleeds out to you how you're all feeling in real life.
Yeah, absolutely. It's incredibly meta, I would say. Like talking about the show is like reliving the ending a little bit, like over and over. And my feelings, towards the end of shooting were, yeah, like I am definitely feeling similarly still.
Obviously you could feel it, you must have been able to feel it was special because it is, but to know that it's been so beloved, like did that kind of when you came back for series two and every series since, has it kind of upped the ante a little bit, or do you kind of try switch that off and just focus on the job you're doing and the time you're having kind of thing?
Yeah, I am super focused on delivering a good performance and making Paul, Lucia, and Jen happy with the work. That is all I care about. And especially when we're making the show, that's the only thing I'm concerned with is delivering and realizing what they set out to accomplish. So that's really all we think about when we're making the show is like how to make it to our standard because it's a high standard.
I know fans, myself included, we all get excited about the relationship between obviously Ava and Deborah, but also yourself and Jean Smart, but also the wider cast as well. I feel like I watched Paul and Meg do one of their bits at the awards season. It was so funny, but there was a shot of you and Jean in the crowd, kind of just looking adoringly and laughing, and I just kind of think like you've kind of got friends for life. Do you feel like not every job has that? Is that how it feels?
It does. Like, I think we're so lucky that we all really actually love each other. I'm told that that's not often the case. But I think a big part of that is because we're all like comedians, you know? We are all clowns, and with that comes like kind of just like this attitude of like wanting to engage with the funniest people and like feeling so grateful when you can connect to someone who is on your level, you know? I think a lot of us can tend to feel like isolated at times, but when we're with each other, it's like we speak the same language.
Your filming is funny. I can imagine the outtakes sometimes not usable and funny. Who breaks the most, do you think, and who makes you break the most? Can I ask?
It's me. I break the most, and I am broken the most by Jane Addams, who plays my mother. Jane Addams is a live wire. She's like a raw nerve, and she's so funny. And she just improvises for like minutes upon minutes. Just she goes. You have to yell cut like a million times to get her to stop. And she is so unbelievably funny and so real. And her mania is so natural. And she's just the sweetest person, and I love her.
We're a nation of narcissists, and we think we're very funny. Do you have any British shows or British kind of comedy people that you are inspired by?
I would say Monty Python, for sure. Also, I was a big fan. I know maybe this is like a little bit problematic now in some ways, but Little Britain was like a really huge show in my household, for sure. And I always, yeah, really loved that. Is the Mighty Boosh British? Yeah, I loved the Mighty Boosh. I couldn't tell if perhaps somebody was from New Zealand, but um, No, I think yeah, because Noel is yeah, British. So yeah, loved the Mighty Boosh as well.
Yeah, we'll claim even if it's got strong ties to New Zealand, we'll claim it. Along with maybe Deborah Vance, who's your Mount Rushmore of comedy heroes.
I would say Steve Martin, Jim Carrey, Richard Pryor, and Deborah Vance.
Perfect. I saw your comedy special. It's a very long-winded thing because I didn't have HBO. We've only just got HBO Max, and it
Ah,
was on HBO Max. And so I watched loads of clips when I realized I couldn't watch the whole thing, and I watched the whole thing as it was as intended, as God intended. You being God
yes.
in that scenario, and it's obviously so funny. And the bits where you just create such a good picture of when you were talking, and then there was like, it almost feels like a cut too, but you're obviously just performing it, and you're on the floor and you're talking about what you're like on your period and stuff. It's just so funny. I
Thank
just
you.
wondered with next, obviously now the show's done, you must be kind of looking to what's next. Hopefully a nice break. Obviously, you're probably doing a lot of press and stuff like that. But I suppose you've never necessarily stopped doing stand up. But will you be, do you have a plan on what to focus on, or how do you kind of approach that?
Yeah, I'm gonna I've got a couple shows coming up. I took a year off performing after I did my special. A little bit over a year actually. So I've just started to like break the rust off and get back up on stage and it's felt really good. I feel like new again. I really needed the break, I think, because I had just been doing the same hour for about 7 years. You know, 7 years was like the hour was the cumulative effect of 7 years of work. So yeah, I'm definitely having fun starting over.
And lots of people will know you as a obviously comedic actor, but as an actor rather than a stand-up. So what's that kind of
Mhm.
like? Do you feel like people are pitching you things and you're like, well, you've misunderstood me or anything like that? Or,
Yeah, I'm always pleased when someone's familiar with my stand-up because it's like my first love. But no, I think you're right. I think more people know me as an actor. It's just kind of like a fun surprise when they realize that I'm also a comic.
I'm coming to the end of my questions, but will you be coming over to the UK anytime soon? Please.
When I have more time under my belt in terms of like material, I'll definitely try to come to the Soho Theater again. I went right before I shot my special, like or maybe like 6 months before I shot my special. Maybe I don't know exactly when, but I did 2 weeks there, and it was a really great experience. I loved it. So.
How do London audiences compare to LA audiences?
There are a lot more. There was a man in the front row one night who just looked totally unaffected, and he came up to me after the show and he was like, "That was one of the most brilliant things I've ever seen." And I was like, "Tell your face, pal." Like, holy shit. Lighten up. Like I was like, okay, there's definitely I think we had some like really good laughers, but there were definitely the few odd people who kept it kind of to themselves and suppressed the laughter, but I guess we're enjoying it. It was a really good experience. I think London audiences, especially the Soho Theaters audiences, are incredibly smart, and I appreciate that.
I do a little bit of stand up. I'm not
Oh,
your level, a
cool.
little bit, but I did an Edinburgh Fringe a couple of slots a couple of years ago, and
Yes.
yeah, so often they'd be so quiet, and
Yeah.
then they'd come out and give you the hugest tip, and you'd be like, "This is
Yeah.
brilliant." You think it's so
Yeah.
disconcerting.
I know, right?
Um,
It's interesting.
I suppose it's better than the other way around. They're laughing loud, and they just
Yeah.
go, "Oh, you need to work on it." You're like, "Oh."
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much for
Thank
chatting
you.
to me. I
Yeah.
cannot wait to get into this series, and although I'm very sad about it at the same time,
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing what Hannah does next. I'm very excited.
Yay. Oh my God. Well, thank you. Talk to
Thank
you
you very
later.
much.